Hola, my name is Alex, and I'm originally from a small town in Spain. Today, I'm living my dream as a manager at a big tech company in the US. But my journey to get here wasn't easy. I struggled for years with English, especially as I knew that working in an international company would require me to be fluent. I was stuck, frustrated, and had no idea how to improve my English. But everything changed when I discovered four powerful ways that helped me improve step by step. I'm going to share those with you. So if you've ever felt like you can't master English, stick with me for the next few minutes. You'll see just how much is possible. Growing up in Spain, English was always a subject in school, but I never took it seriously. I focused more on math, science, and other things I thought would help me land a job. But as I started working in the tech industry, I realized that English wasn't just another subject. It was essential. I remember my first job interview in an international company. It was a disaster. I could barely introduce myself in English, let alone have a conversation. My confidence was crushed, and I knew I had to do something. But where would I even start? I felt overwhelmed. There were grammar rules, new vocabulary, pronunciation, tenses, everything seemed so complex. I could understand a little when reading, but speaking? That was a whole different ballgame. I would freeze up every time someone asked me a question in English. It was like I knew what to say in my head, but when I opened my mouth, nothing would come out. It wasn't until I set a clear goal for myself, 30 days to improve, that things started to change. The first breakthrough came when I found a very simple but powerful method: describing pictures. It might sound strange, but this method became a game changer for me. I gave myself a simple goal to describe a picture every single day, and gradually I saw how much it helped. At first, I picked easy pictures: a beach, a park, or a simple scene from daily life. My descriptions were basic. I'd say things like, "The man is walking his dog," or "There are two people sitting on a bench." It was simple, but that's where I had to start. And believe me, at the beginning, I would take 5 or even 10 minutes to describe just one picture. But then I took it to the next level. Instead of just using basic vocabulary, I started adding synonyms. So instead of saying, "The man is walking his dog," I'd say, "The man is strolling with his canine companion." It made my sentences sound richer, more advanced. Finally, I started experimenting with different tenses. I described what was happening in the past tense, then the present, and even the future. The man was walking his dog yesterday, then he is walking his dog now, and finally he will be walking his dog tomorrow. At first, it took me a lot of time, but I stuck with it. I recorded myself speaking and listened back to see where I could improve. Gradually, it became easier and faster. My goal was to describe any picture in less than 2 minutes, and soon enough, I reached that point. It was incredible how much describing pictures helped me with my vocabulary, fluency, and grammar all at once. The next step was even more fun: watching English movies and series. But I wasn't just watching for entertainment. I was studying them. I started with subtitles, of course, because it helped me match the words with their sounds. I would pause and repeat lines to practice pronunciation and mimic the conversational style. I watched everything from sitcoms like Friends to dramas like The Crown. I learned how people actually spoke in real-life conversations, which was very different from the textbook English I had studied in school. If you really want to learn and understand American English, the best sitcom you can watch is The Big Bang Theory. It's not only a great example of American English, but it also exposes you to the accent, body language, slang, and various phrases that are commonly used in everyday conversations. Start by watching with subtitles, and whenever you come across unusual vocabulary or phrases, pause the video, take note of the word and its meaning, and try to incorporate it into your daily life. This show is packed with practical language lessons hidden in its humor, making it a fun way to learn. I made a rule for myself: Every time I heard a new phrase or word, I had to write it down and use it in a sentence at least 3 times the next day. Little by little, I started to sound more natural in my speech. I also started watching without subtitles after a while, pushing myself to rely solely on my listening skills. This helped me get used to how fast people speak in real life, and it trained my ear to understand different accents. Another big leap in my English came from something you could do completely on your own: mirror practice. Every day, I would stand in front of a mirror and have a full conversation with myself in English. At first, it felt a little awkward, but soon enough, I realized how powerful this technique was. The key is to imagine you're talking to someone else, practicing everyday conversations. I would pick random topics, introducing myself, discussing my job, or talking about the weather, and speak out loud. Looking at myself while speaking helped me focus on my pronunciation, facial expressions, and body language, which are all important in real-life communication. The best part about mirror practice is that there's no pressure. You can make as many mistakes as you want without feeling embarrassed, and you get the chance to correct yourself in real time. The more I practiced in the mirror, the more confident I became in speaking English naturally. It felt like I was training my brain to think in English, and over time, I noticed that I was able to respond faster in conversations without needing to translate in my head. To make mirror practice even more effective, I started recording myself on video while speaking. After each recording, I would watch the video and observe my pronunciation, body language, and overall fluency. It felt awkward at first, but I reminded myself it's just me. There's nothing to feel embarrassed about. The key thing to remember is that there's no real hurdle between you and mastering English, and there's no competitor other than yourself. You're your own biggest challenge. So take it easy and focus on what really matters: your dream of becoming fluent in English. These are just the steps to get there. Your ultimate goal is fluency, and every time you practice, whether it's in front of a mirror or recording yourself on video, you're one step closer. Don't stress about perfection. Instead, concentrate on progress. You're building the skills you need for your future, and every bit of effort counts. The final step was writing. Every day, I would pick a topic and write a short paragraph about it. Sometimes I would write about my day, or I would describe a picture I had seen earlier, just like I did when practicing speaking. This helped me expand my vocabulary and get used to structuring sentences correctly. After I wrote something, I would read it aloud and record myself. Listening to my own voice was strange at first, but it was so helpful. I could hear my mistakes, and I could see where I needed to improve. Eventually, I started setting time limits for myself. I would choose a topic or picture and challenge myself to write and speak about it within a certain time frame. First, it was 10 minutes, then 5 minutes, and finally, I could describe a picture or write about a topic in just 1 or 2 minutes. The time pressure helped me think faster and improve my fluency. As I kept practicing, things started to change at work. I began to feel more confident speaking in English with my colleagues. I even led a few meetings in English, something that would have terrified me before. Eventually, I got a job offer from a big tech company in the US. Moving to a new country and working in an environment where English was the primary language was a huge leap, but thanks to all the practice I had done, I felt ready for it. Today, I'm a manager in a multicultural team. I work with people from all over the world, and English is the common language we use. I'm not just speaking English anymore, I'm living it. If you're struggling with English, believe me, I know exactly how you feel. It's tough, but it's also completely possible to improve. The 4 steps I used, describing pictures, watching movies, mirror practicing, and writing/recording, transformed my English in just a few months. Give yourself 30 to 40 days and adopt these tricks. I'm sure you've been wandering from one YouTube channel to another, hoping that someone will magically teach you English and make you fluent overnight. Trust me, I've been there. But let me tell you something. A good teacher isn't someone who just gives you the answers. It's someone who equips you with the tools and strategies to teach yourself and apply those skills in real-life situations. That's what we focus on here. We train you so that you can train yourself in English and use it whenever and wherever you need it. There are thousands of videos out there claiming that if you learn 1,000 or 5,000 words, you'll be fluent in English. No, my friend, English is a language, and like any skill, you need to experiment with it, adapt it to your daily life, and make it your own. It's absurd to think you can remember 5,000 sentences and suddenly become fluent. Fluency isn't about memorizing words. It's about mastering vocabulary and knowing how to use it to communicate effectively. English is a tool for communication. If you can convey your message and make yourself understood, you're already on the right track. And that's awesome. Now we need to take it further to sharpen your skills. Think of it like an axe. If your axe is sharp, you can cut the right tree or branch in no time. The sharper your English, the more effectively you'll be able to communicate in complex situations. That's the goal, to make your English as precise and powerful as possible. I'm sure most of you are above 15 or 18 years old. If you've given years of your life to learning, why not trust yourself for just 30 to 40 days? Practice every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Be patient with yourself, and soon, you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. If I could go from barely speaking English to leading an international team in the US, so can you. The only thing standing between you and fluency is your commitment to practicing and growing every day. So trust the process, trust the process, trust the process, and let's do this together.